Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the first test between India and Australia. It has been a very much anticipated one. And currently, as you can see, Australia struggling a little bit. We're here for session 3 of the first day, 174 for 8. At the moment, Australia sit. We've seen some good bowling from Jadeja already getting himself 4 wickets. Ashwin's been bowling well, getting 2. And then also Shami and Siraj both getting the 1 each. But it looks like Jadeja, he's going to start us off for this last session of the day. They've already had 60 overs. Of course, it won't take too long with the spin to get through these sessions. Peter Handscomb still out there, 29 runs off 69 deliveries. Has been one of the anchors, I guess you could say, since they did lose Steve Smith and Marnus Labuschagne. But Handscomb, the Kookaburra in hand, has to make sure that he's making the right decisions here, when to go after Jadeja. Australia played well, scoring 98 because of Alex Carey fast batting, says Coding in there as well. But currently Nathan Lyon at the non-strikers end. He's not too bad. He does just practice using a tennis ball, which sounds simple, but his brother just throws him the tennis ball. That's all he uses to bat. Doesn't face them in the nets, which is probably fair enough when you've got Stark, Cummins and whatnot trying to throw it down there at you. But here comes Jadeja. Solid in behind it. Very green wicket, almost as green as the outfield for this matchup. Jadeja, he's bowled 20 overs, going for an economy of about 2.5, somewhere around there. A little bit wider with that one, but nicely blocked again by Handscomb. Seems to be able to jump from format to format extremely well, Handscomb. Does play a bit of T20. Also, not too bad in an ODI scenario, but Jadeja trying to find his weakness. We did see some very, very deliveries from Jadeja in terms of the way that the ball spun when he was able to pick up his wickets. It was quite impressive the way he was getting it to move both ways. A couple clean bowled restays. Hi, hello, Reed. Hope you are doing well. We haven't seen a single over pitch delivery according to the stats for Jadeja so far. Now it's going to be swept nicely, no run taken. Goes straight to fine leg, which is Ashwin. I assume he will get the next over here. Just thinking through this Australian lineup as well. So they've got Nathan Lyon and Handscomb at the crease at the moment. The next man to the crease will be Scotty Boland. Now we did see Todd Murphy LBW by Jadeja very early. I'm excited to see what he can do with the ball in hand. He's known as a bit of a magician. Oh, straight through. Doesn't hit the stumps, but she was pretty close. Yeah, Alex Carey getting 36 off 33 balls. How much did this one spin? Just spun enough to miss the off stump. Good keeping as well to be able to line it up. Jadeja with the big smile on his face. And use of the feet there from Handscomb. Works it away to the leg side. I don't think Ashwin actually saw that one straight away due to the sun. I'll get 2 for it. In fact, they might only take the 1. Yes, they do. They take a single, so already trying to protect the man at the other end by the looks of it. As your Reed dyes here pink, it's up to Reed, really. Depends, because we're coming into summer at the moment, so don't know, is pink here something you want over summer or something you want over winter? It depends whether or not he wants people to see it, because if he doesn't want people to see it, probably winter's the better option, seeing as it's colder so you don't go out as much. Why batters in modern era prefer reverse sweep more instead of the traditional sweep? I think it's a good question. I'm just thinking along the lines of, if it's down leg side, it seems easier to play a reverse sweep to a ball that's anywhere along the crease rather than a sweep, if that makes sense. Like if you try and sweep when it's outside off stump, it doesn't really work for you. Whereas if you reverse, it seems to be that you've got that whole area to be able to go across because of how the bat's going there. I always found it that, personally, I'm terrible at both sweeps, but if I had to sweep, I would probably go orthodox sweep, just because if I went out to a reverse sweep, I would never get to bat again. You know, so that's something. You got to make sure you at least get to try it once. I played a ramp shot in cricket training the other day because we were using the bowling machine, and I went out and got a ball, and then the machine beeped. So I had about 1 second or 2 seconds before the machine was going to throw a ball down at about 100k. So I pretty much ran back to my crease and just set up for the ramp and managed to somehow get some bat on it. And that's the only ramp shot I've ever played. Ashwin, 2 dots in a row. Seems like a spinner's track, which is weird. Todd Murphy, Nathan Lyon will both play heavily into how the Australians go. They've also got Matty Renshaw, another option in there as well. Could look at someone like Marnus Labuschagne or Steve Smith. They might get a couple overs. But it's quite a light bowling attack, you'd have to say, compared to what we've seen in the past for the Australians. You've got Pat Cummins. He's actually the only pace option that they have gone with, unless we do. Oh, sorry, also Scotty Boland. They've got 2 options. And then worst comes to worst, I guess Marnus can also bowl medium pace. We did see him do it up against the West Indies, but ideally you would want it just to be Boland and Cummins who do the main attacking. Ashwin, he's bowling about 7k slower than what we're seeing from his counterpart. You see there, Cam Green. I'm looking for his finger because I know he ended up with a fracture. That is actually why him and Mitchell Starc were out after the South African tour. Digit next to his head looks all right. So it must be on the other hand. And I think he's got his phone in it. So he should be fine for the IPL. Ashwin again. Little bit of foot movement from Anscombe. At the moment, the plan will be to keep Anscombe on strike for this ball so that Nathan Lyon has to face the full next over. Looks confused at the moment, Cam Green. I feel like he might be one of those players, if he's not playing, yes, he still likes to watch and whatnot, but doesn't like it as much as if he was out there. You know, some players are right on the edge of their seat, all watching ball by ball. And some players are just kind of like, nah, it's all right. I'll see the highlights. Ashwin now final ball. Oh, it's over, drags it down, so it gifts the run for Hanscom. In fact, they could have taken 2, but instead that will finish on a single. Ashwin will be disappointed with that. He's just gifted in the run. 176 for 8 after 62 overs. I should mention that they can go right through to 12 AM New Zealand time. Alongside that, they can go with an extra 30 minutes if they need to. Australia's missing key players, Green, Hazelwood, and Travis Head. Says coding in there. Yeah, see, Travis Head's a big one because if he started getting going on one of these Indian wickets, he could have found himself a quick fire 50 or a quick fire 100 and help put the momentum back in the side of the Australians. Mitchell Starc, another player that they'll probably be slightly disappointed not to have, but of course, in Indian conditions, he's probably not your ideal bowling choice. But I would have liked to see Travis Head's off spin as well, if he had the chance. Asia once again just outside off stumps, trying to get it into Anscombe. The slip in the gully, who's also on his knees. He's a little bit closer. Waiting for that one just to dabble off the outside edge. And go to him, which that ball was pretty close to doing. 91 Ks there for Jadeja. Like I was saying, we actually see about 80, 81 from the other end. Did you see the way India water the pitch unevenly? Says James McMahon. Oh, that's close. Jadeja likes it. It's going to be the wicket here by the sounds of it. Although Hazelwood, or sorry, not Hazelwood, Hanscom might consider going up. Doesn't look like he's going to, though. And Jadeja has got 5. Okay, Australia, they are going upstairs. I do see that there are strips. How some of it is good and some of it is not so good in terms of the colour of the pitch. I don't know whether that was on purpose or someone just made a balls up. I feel like it's definitely on purpose, though, because at this level, you would think that making a pitch would be doable. Right, this one stays pretty straight. It's hit him straight in front. The only thing that might save him is nothing, really. I can't see this not being out, to be honest. Hanscom, I think, having a conversation with the umpire there. Maybe if it was umpire's call for the impact and then somehow went far enough away to the side. If not, Boland's making his way to the crease. And I don't think it would get such a reception as he normally does when he comes. Oh, no. Okay, there's a random noise, but it's nowhere near the bat. And also, red sand pitch, this test match will be over in 3 days, says Coding. Which is a bit of a shame because that means that it's pretty much right at the start of the weekend is going to be when this one is over. That's going to be hit in the middle stump, red, red, and red, and Hanscom now will be dismissed. I think we're not too far away from a 10-minute interchange, ladies and gentlemen, where we will get to see the Indians put on the pads and have a bit of a bat on their home turf. But the reviews remaining, one still for the Australians. Jadeja, though, he's bowled well. He's got someone pulling on his ponytail. Is that John Key, who has joined up with the Indian huddle? Maybe not. Peter Hanscom, 31 off 84. Decent performance on this pitch. He's done all right. I believe that makes him about third or fourth highest run scorer for the Australians. It's fourth highest. No, sorry. Yeah, fourth highest. Saw Labuschagne dismissed on 49. Steve Smith dismissed on 37. Bowl clean by Jadeja. That would really annoy Steve Smith. He'll be thinking about that for the next 15 years. Alex Carey got 36 off 33 balls. So he was the quickest scorer out of anyone by a drastic amount. In fact, Alex Carey, he was scoring at 100 strike rate plus. No one else scored above a 50 strike rate on his side. And then also Peter Hanscom just getting that 31 off 84. Hello, Amish Bros. Says for sure. Welcome in, mate. Once again, hope you are doing very well. Scotty Boland, I don't see sticking around for too long here. I think if he's going to swing hard and just try and get the Australians some extra bonuses to work with. Same with Nathan Lyon. It's a hard pitch to swing on, though, because it seems like the ball, that one in particular, it did look like it stayed a little bit lower than maybe it would have on a harder pitch. Solid from Boland, though. Beautifully straight out to cover for no run, sadly. And also India doing good. They certainly did. Do you like the pitch, this Coding? Of what I've seen of it, in my opinion, if a test match ends on day 3, not that keen on the pitch to a certain extent. Like, I enjoy watching it when it comes down to the final couple sessions. Like, it's fair enough that it's a spinner surface. At the end of the day, that is something that India were always going to have because, like, that's what they play very well. Boland's going to take the single and retain the strike in the over 177 for 9. But yeah, I enjoy a spinner's track when it does produce a result on a later day, if that makes sense. Because sometimes, you want 5 days of cricket. That's always the way that I look at it. Test match cricket is the beauty that should be shown over 5. And Australia was too much scared before the match starts as pitch topic. Says Michelle, I says Shannon, and after streaming, can you check my Discord if you have time, says Yanlu. If it's about the picture of Virat Kohli, like I said earlier on, if you just Google Virat Kohli India, his picture will probably come up and you'll find a good one that way, rather than having the identical one. Yeah, straight down the middle. LBW, easy as houses. I feel like I wasn't as excited for that wicket as I would have liked to be. At the end of the day, it was Jadeja's 5-wicket haul. Oh, bit of bounce there. Okay, we like a bit of bounce. Boland will be liking it too. I'd like to think that we won't have any variable bounce at this stage of the matchup. Okay, no, there is variable bounce because that one stayed low. Never mind. 88k, so a quicker ball from Ashwin. Normally goes at about 81, 82. Decided to speed it up a little bit, but the 5 wickets for Jadeja coming off 22 overs. Been persisting, nicely played by Boland under the ice with the icon, which is almost what some people would call Scott Boland. They want a statue of him at the MCG. Now, 9 down. 1 wicket away. Oh, Boland, no. That was not the shot. He decided to have a bit of a dabble at it outside of off stump. Knew it was going to be staying low. The danger that he's got, though, is if it ends up with a bit of variable bounce, he's also going to end up with a bit of a variable amount of spin. There, Hamish, how are you, mate? Says striking down under, doing very well. Excited. Oh, he's bowled. Straight through him. And that is going to be Australia bowled it out for 177 on this one. And frankly, it is looking like day 5 pitch. It is. And it's going to be interesting to see how India bat. I'd like to think that they'll bat better in these conditions, having known them for so long, but you just never know. Well bowled, though, from Jadeja. Well bowled by Ashwin. Both picking up combined 8 wickets. But I should mention trucking. I always talk about the GoPro footage with you. I don't even know if you enjoy me talking about the GoPro cricket as much as I talk to you about it. But this weekend, if the rain falls, we're still hopefully going to be playing. But it shouldn't rain. That's the good thing. No rain in the forecast other than 1 millimeter. If that 1 millimeter stops us from playing, I'm going to be furious. Because we have been waiting for like 3 weeks to get back into it. And every time it's either delayed or rained or anything, defaulted. But we're going to be playing a high school team. So anyone who does ask the question of, do you just play against kids? In this case, yes. Yes, they're younger than the last team we played, but they're all rep players, so they're good. Danger. And I was aiming for New Zealand take on England pink ball test match. New Zealand squad for that series didn't announce yet. Oh, I'm not sure if New Zealand have fully announced who they've gone with for that one. Also, we have got, oh no, I read that one. Right, what we will do while we're at the break, we'll have a quick look and see if the Black Caps versus England squad. Let's see what we've got here. If they announced it. 14 player squad. I think they have. And you may be watching that for sure. Says trucking. Right, they just told me that New Zealand had announced their side, but now the side has disappeared. And also Jamieson is back in the squad. He is. To lead New Zealand first 11. Okay. Where'd the squad go? Okay, the squad is not in the normal place that a squad would be. If anyone knows who the squad is, do let me know. But we'll have another Google of it. Yeah, I've been looking forward to editing a cricket video in, I would say, the last 2 months, and every time game just gets called. Okay, New Zealand squad is Conway, Henry Nichols, Williamson, Will Young, Daryl Mitchell, Michael Bracewell, Blundell, Tom Latham, Blair Tickner, Sodhi, Jameson, Henry, Wagner, and Southey as the skipper. So they've gone with New Zealand. Then England, might as well read their side too. They've gone with Brooke, Joe Root, Ollie Pope, Crawley, Ben Stokes, Lawrence, Ollie Robinson. They stick with the pattern of having multiple Ollies. Will Jacks, Ben Duckett, Folkes, Jack Leach, Jimmy Anderson, Matthew Potts, Ollie Stone, and Stuart Broad. And back and I, by the way, says Amelia, welcome back. You are keeping well. Currently, Australia bowled out for 177. So now the big question is, will India also succumb to a total around that mark, or will they bat a lot better in these conditions? And to be honest, I think the chance is the second. I think they'll bat a lot better in these conditions. At the end of the day, these conditions are made for them. They need to make sure that they perform, because if they don't, then it kind of has backfired. And that's not what they want. They want a nice, easy win. In fact, while we're at it, we might as well check the odds for this matchup. India versus Australia. For India to win this test match from here, it's currently sitting at 80%. New Zealand are not playing. Forget I said that. Australia are 17% and draw is 3%. I think Jimmy will play forever. He'll never retire. Says Coding. Yeah, I think he's waiting till someone is going to be able to replace him efficiently. And I don't see too many players taking his spot yet. The most runs that we did see from an Australian batsman was actually Marnus Labuschagne. No surprises there, but he was out on 49, which you will be very, very disappointed about. And Sodhi says Blues Nate down. This time tomorrow I'll be sitting in the theatre watching Phantom like last time, and Mum will need a beer for the cricket. Thank you very much. You're a very generous man, Truckin. Every time, she will definitely enjoy a beer. We've had some hot weather over here, but nothing compared to what you guys get in Australia all the time. But yeah, I think she's going to come to my game, which is quite cool. Be able to have me mumsy sit in front row even though there's no other rows than front row. It's either front row or you're not there. So she'll be in the front row watching me play. Hopefully, I can score more than three off 22. I think I got, but can confirm been working on my batting a lot because it's one of those ones that now that I know that I've got a GoPro on my head, I got to try and put in some good performances. Bet you I get a golden duck now this weekend, but hopefully it looks good while I do it. But yeah, exciting. I've become a lot more aggressive in the way that I bat, at least in the nets. I don't know whether that will replicate in a game, but I hope that it does. And we can hit double figures. That's the goal. And also Hamish Rutherford was an excellent batter. Why didn't get him a chance in the 11 squad? He's just very unlucky, I think. Hamish Rutherford. There's a few players like that around the world that are always right on the verge of getting in and just miss out. Like, who else we got? I mean, I know a couple examples for the rugby, the likes of a Lachlan Boshier, or you go with a lot of those guys, to be fair. The ones right on the verge of getting through that always miss out. Still starstruck that the Phantom himself made a massive part in making sure I'm safely. I just wish I never panic attack when I did, says Amelia. Although that's the thing, you can't plan out that's going to happen. So the fact that they were able to work on their feet or like do it on their feet, working out what to do that was best, I feel like that's pretty good overall. And also, Amelia, who is the Phantom? Says Drucken Down Under. That is a good question. I almost took a screamer at cricket practice today, but my hand's bloody sore now because it smacked. You know how you're supposed to catch the ball here in the fingers, just like that. Unfortunately, off a caught and bowled, it smacks straight into this part. So she's a bit tender, but she'll be right. I'm not missing a game, even if I had a broken thumb, which I don't, luckily. If I had a broken thumb, I'd still play because we don't want to miss any cricket. We've hardly had games. And Josh Pitterman, he was on when I went to the Phantom and they got on Tuesday. We covered White Ferns matches of the Women's World Cup. Unfortunately, short answer is no, because they are on at random hours of the night. I was hoping to do them with my mum. Who knows, maybe later games of the Cricket World Cup, my mum and I might do them. But yeah, I feel like I would have loved to do them. But sadly, with the way that the time sits, it just makes it quite difficult, seeing as we have already got so many competitions that we are doing overnight, whether that's the Six Nations, the URC, Test match cricket, the Sevens when it comes back around. It'll be a tight one overall. But we will try our best. And also, I don't want to get copyright struck. So if they're playing up against Sri Lanka or India, even me doing this live stream is a slight risk, I should mention. But we did it, the NRL preseason game, myself and Dad, just before. And we didn't get copyright struck for that. So we're on a roll. Hopefully. And also, okay, you're an opera fan then, says Drucken, and he recognised me, thought I was sad for a minute for a different reason. And legit, the minute I told him he's having a panic, he sort of sprung into action. I swear I caught him running like a headless chook, says Amelia. So, I mean, to be fair, as an actor, as he'd call himself, you know, you got to be quick on your feet, don't you? You got to be able to adjust, do a bit of improv. So he probably imagined in his head, right, I'm playing the role of a doctor or someone in a situation, and he managed to play it well by the sounds of it. The only time I've ever done any, like, not on-screen acting, but anytime I've done some actually, I guess, acting for like a school project when they make you do it. I remember I was in gumboots, dress, and I was singing opera, but I wasn't actually singing. I was mouthing it. This was when I was like 7. And I think it's on video, which I'm never going to show. But then there was also one that I do I want to go down this route? We're at the halftime break at the moment, so there is time. But I don't know whether I want to tell all my embarrassing stories from my childhood. I feel like I've got to leave some of it kind of to the unknown. Is this guy playing up? Mine gets freezing. Mine is also freezing, yep. So I'm hoping it gets better before we get back into the match, or else it will be a bit of a pain. And I was like, yes, I mean, channels covering this test match. There's goading, and he ran around the main foyer trying to talk to staff, getting me money because I told him I didn't have much money. The money I had was for taffy, and I was like, Kiwi wearing gumboots? No way, yeah. It was actually we were singing a song about gumboots. If it weren't for your gumboots, where would you be? Bit of Fred Dag, I think it was, maybe. But yeah, that's the old project. See, if I could somehow do it so that I can blur everyone else's face in that created video that we did a different one because we were doing a song about being under the sea and I took it literally. So I dressed in an all snorkel and scuba gear. Yeah, everyone else was wearing jeans, and I was like, mate, you're gonna sink with those jeans. Look at me, I got my snorkel. I have my flippers. They were like, you don't need to have the flippers on because we can't see them. It's only a waist up shot. And I put in the effort, put in the hard yards. Never do anything by halves. That's the life motto. But now back into the test match. Just about to come out onto the field. Here they go. India on strike. Their first chance here. And it is going to be KL Rahul. And also we have got there. G'day, Amish John Clark, aka Freak Dag. Says David, hope you're doing well, mate. If you're excited, here comes Pat Cummins. First ball. Oh, okay, that was a weird one. It's going to be 4 runs for India, but I don't know whether or not KL Rahul actually wanted to play it there. He kind of left it, but it still hit his bat. And he'll take the runs. Who wouldn't take the runs in that scenario? He then made me hold his hand and walked to an area where a cab was spoke to the cab driver. I was on my way and I messaged him a thank you, says Amelia. But yeah, KL Rahul will take that strike rate of 400. In fact, it's Rohit Sharma on strike. Why'd they show us KL Rahul's information if he wasn't even playing that first ball? I feel like I've been lied to. Oh, Cummins on the leg side, whipped away beautifully by KL Rahul. No, it's still not him. It's Rohit Sharma. That's 2 boundaries in a row. Oh, boy. This could be a long day at the office for the Australians, but luckily it can only go for another 2 hours. Reed says you should dye your hair pink. I should not do that. It's not sitting right at the moment, I'll be honest. It kind of looks like I've got an emo phase going, which I don't mean to. It's just the way that it's sitting currently. It's going that way and it goes down, but it just doesn't sit right. His old mate's name, Wall Footrot. Yeah, he was the one. I love that movie. I haven't watched it in a while, but it's a fun movie. Got some Kiwi culture in there, the scrum and whatnot. And I was Audi. I just back from training, had to do a bloody Bronco. They're the worst. They do suck, yeah. Broncos are tough. But I guess at least the positive is you might be a little bit fitter than you were before practice. So that's a good thing. Something that I probably need to do is try and actually get slightly fitter. The only part I hated was the fact he made me hold hands even though I'm 18, says Amelia. Yeah, but I guess in that scenario, you just want to be in that place of seeming comforted, if that makes sense. That's another 4 runs for Rohit Sharma. This is baseball, except on roids. On roids. I don't know how to follow up. I thought it was a good joke, but then I don't know if it actually was. Who are you trying to impress with that haircut, Hamish, says David? No one really. I was just trying to not have my hair as tangled at the back. So I think that's the main thing. It just got to the point of it kept on getting knotted, and then I couldn't really do much with it. Like it got to the certain point of no return. There's T20 going on. Yeah, if you got 12 or 4 balls in a T20, you'd be pretty happy. Oh, it's leg side. She's going to the boundary. No, it's not. Bowl and stop it. Okay. And yet, Drew Hamish, I had that same feeling fitness training. But yeah, it's pretty much I just decided one day, right, getting a haircut. I went into a barber's in Timaru and he was like, sorry, we only do bookings, which George was confused about because normally the point of a barber is just to go in and get a haircut. Then we went to a different one and yeah, she cut it. All gone. Like long hair style or short hair. Well, I've only ever had long hair once. That's the difference. I've always had short hair. It's only the recent time that I had long hair. I think I prefer short hair to a certain extent. Long hair was nice. but short is just easier, isn't it? Gets out of your eyes. You don't have to worry about that side of things. Takes less time to dry, all that stuff. Pat Cummins finishes the over with the dot ball to Kaurahu and the end of the first over, 13 for none here for the Australians. Boy, what a start that is. That's one over. Australia face 63.5. So we lose 2 overs for the interchange. Takes through to 67. So we've still got 23 more overs to go. Just after fan trip number 6, a friend of mine tricked me watching a really disturbing movie, despite the fact I said numerous times that I didn't want to watch it. There's Amelia there. And Hamish, how far are you from Queenstown? Queenstown for me is about a 4-hour drive, I think. Uh, 3 hours 25 for us. That's in good traffic, though. If you're not in good traffic, you're probably struggling. Scotty Boland on Indian shores now. And no run since 2019 due to COVID. 4 years later, struggle play the full 80 minutes, says Nate. See, I hadn't run a single in cricket in over 10 years. And I hadn't even run in like ages as well. So that first run that I had to get, not in that Timaru Boys game, but the game before that was brutal on the legs. Oh, beautiful shot down the ground from Rohit Sharma. Is that man playing with a whole tree trunk? Everything's just so clean off that massive bat. And also, it sounds like a good friend. What was the movie? Don't worry, I've got multiple friends wanting to break his jaw. That he's lucky. He's away right now. I once watched Cabin in the Woods, thinking that it was a comedy. It was not. It was not a comedy, not at all. I don't think I laughed once because it's a horror film. But then I wanted to know how it ended, so that was the first horror movie I'd ever watched, like properly watched. Like I've seen like the scary movie ones and whatnot, like the parody ones. I normally watch them more. I'm going to Waimeti one day, says Ollie. Same. I'm going there today because I'm already here. You're getting back into motivation mode again for me, says Nate. See, that's the other thing. I want to say let myself go. I feel like I'm still not too, like, chubby overall, but I've done hardly any exercise. And since Christmas, I've hardly done anything. So I want to get back into the swing of things, get some fitness going. Also, we have good. I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it. Says Trucking Down Under in there as well. Currently, India only trailing by 162 runs. Even though that says 164, we'll quickly get that updated. Boom. There we go. This is going to be a time where Australia need to pick up wickets. Because if they don't get these early wickets, they probably don't get much of a chance in this one. All my friends said that the Josh was a good person for helping me get home. But the main reason I had a panic attack was because the person promised pickup. He then deliberately proceeds not to and tells me. Says Amelia there. Yeah, see, people are annoying, you know. I feel like that speaks for itself, just that statement of people are annoying, but there are different reasons people can be annoying. When I was leaving Phantom, which was what led to my panic attack, my anxiety shooting up, and I didn't need it to. Another dot ball, 4 in a row for Australia. Solid. Keep that going for a little bit longer will be handy. Kaurahu's only faced 1 ball, and they're already on 15 runs. I see my Wi-Fi is also not great, so I do apologize if I'm a little bit blurry or it is lagging a little bit at the moment. It is not because I want it to. Unfortunately, it is just because of the Wi-Fi not liking me today. Bowling final ball of his over. Taking the stumps. Well blocked by Rohit Sharma, and that will be the end of it. Now it is going to be 15 for none off the 2, which is still a 7.5 run per over scoring rate. Pat Cummins, he won't be happy with going for 13. 4 dot balls is good, but not when you're still going at 7.5 and over. Exactly right. It seems strong. You think, okay, better over. Like the fact that that went for 2 runs, test match wise, two's all right. You know, uh, two's decent, but 13, not so much. But he has got Karl Rahul on strike now, so maybe he gets himself a wicket here while Rahul isn't set. And that would be pretty handy for the Aussies. And 13 runs off, Captain Flogs first over. Says trucking down under. Fair to say he still hasn't quite warmed up the Australian public to his style. And also, how'd the cricket go the other week, Amish? Other way, many first 11. Unfortunately, the game. Oh, that came back a little bit. The game you are talking about might have been on the Sevens weekend. It was rained off, sadly, so we didn't get to play. The game after that, which was last weekend, the opposition forfeited because they didn't have a team. So we got our first win of the competition, which is actually like pretty big for us, seeing as we are a side that up till that point hadn't won a game. So we'll take the 3 or whatever points you get for a win. And then this weekend, hopefully, fingers crossed, we actually get to play. Maybe. If we're lucky. Might still play it again. No run taken. It's better from Cummins. He seems like he's dropped his length back just that little bit from Karl Rahul. And holy moly, are you ever not streaming? That is a good question. Straight to sports. And hardly. Anytime that I am pretty much sitting in this chair, I'm either editing or streaming. Those are my 2 big ones. In fact, the thing is, during the week, it's like, where are the videos? We haven't got any. But normally I'm just editing random stuff from ages ago. That half of it, in fact, more than half of it doesn't even go up. I'm just practicing, making sure that I can get it all sorted out. Nicely solid on it, Karl Rahul. And my mum is making me take a fidget toy tomorrow, and a friend has agreed to wait for me at the tram stop. I get off, but I don't know whether I should trust it or not. Says Amelia, and down under Jay would have had a field day with that over, says Zach. And Jay would be lurking here. He's trucking down under. Yeah, cricket this weekend, David. Local game on the 50-year jubilee of the cricket club at the high school, playing up against high school children. But we'll take it. Like, our best player, one of our best bowlers, is not going to be playing. Our other opening bowler has got a sore neck, so he might not be playing. So I don't know whether or not we're going to have a team. It just might be that we've got a team of 11 people, half of which haven't played. We'll be right. Still going to put in a fight. I just want to go all right with the bat and send me some random footage. Let me give it the distracted treatment. See, that's the thing. Which random footage do we go with? There's a video somewhere, which I think, unfortunately, may have ended up on the hard drive that did end up corrupting. But there's footage of me and George. You guys in New Zealand, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say about the Wheatbix Golden Richie McCaw card, or those Wheatbix static tap cards. It's a video of me and George opening about 6 full-size Wheatbix boxes looking for those cards in the little studio. And there were things that were getting thrown around all over the place. There were knives, which was dangerous enough. But yeah, that's been edited, but just never went anywhere. And good luck anyway. Will George record it? He will not be recording. I've got my GoPro, but also I believe my mum's going to come down and watch, which will be quite cool. And the high school boundaries are a little bit shorter, so you might get to see a little bit more action as well from the faraway camera. So I don't know whether I'm umpiring first or whether I'll be batting and then maybe trying to umpire after. Or we've talked about maybe having a wicket keeper camera for when I'm bowling, just because hopefully I get more than a couple overs. I've practiced the bowling a lot over the last 5 weeks or so. So those first 3 overs that I bowled that went for about 15, they weren't flash, but line and length wise, I think it's come a long way in that time. So I might get like 5 overs or something if I'm lucky. Speaking of speaking of overs, Nathan Lyon, he's going to be bowling a lot of them today. I better get a helmet for the GoPro, mate. Says trucking down under. That's the thing. I'm worried that it's going to get hit. But I also wonder whether having a big case on it will, like, I don't know how their cases work. I've got one that I bought. I've also got a media attachment that then you can use as a microphone so that it's a bit clearer if it's windy. So I'm wondering whether that would be an option, or it's just more I don't know what to actually use. I know that we went fishing and I had it on my head, which was quite fun. We actually caught something, but it wasn't big. Your hair looks pretty. You got a missus, says Jay. I do not, Jay. Uh, no. Still have trauma from the last. No, I'm all good. It's just I've hardly left the house, really. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? Been busy editing and busy cricketing. If I go out and get a duck in the next one, it's going to be sad. But it's only in a couple of days. G'day, Hamish, Trucking and Double David. The lurker says Trucking down under. And Phantom closing means Super Rugby is close. I'm still going to miss Phantom leaving town, says Amelia. And just got you, Trucking. Geez, the Aussies. Yeah, it's not looking flash at the moment, but there's always a chance that they can fire back in. And g'day, Kiwi lads. Hope 2023 get you 50K by the end of the SS day cost. Appreciate it, mate. It's going to be a busy one. I think the goal for me at the moment is 30,000. That would be massive to have by the end of the year. And I know some people would say that that's aiming a bit too low, but I always like aiming for goals that seem achievable, but then also that there's the chance to blow it out of the water. I feel like that's one of them. Am I the only one here that hates Valentine's Day? I think it's BS, to be honest, says Amelia. Well, I've never actually, in terms of Valentine's Day, I don't think I've been really involved in it much. The only Valentine's Day gift that I have either got or helped get was actually Isaac's first Valentine's Day with his girlfriend. I helped him choose out what to get for her, and they're actually still together about 8 or 9 years later, so I must have done a decent job. Just haven't had to buy anything myself. Kevin Flog was taken for 13 off his first over. And good, thanks, David. I hope you're well. Says Jay, I just dropped my gym tag somewhere. Down there. I'm going to grab it because or else I will forget it. And also, ouch, hope they dragged him after that trucking. Yeah, he didn't go well. That part of the hair is really annoying, though. This little part here. I don't know why it sits like that. I think it's because it's been tied back for so long that it just don't like me. Carl Rahul, 0 of 7. Dragged down by Lion, well fielded. As well, my husband and I don't do Valentine's Day. I like meh, just another day. See, there's no mum there. So you don't, like, not even slightly, like, get a meal or something? Even if it's takeaways? Like, get a couple extra bits of chicken just to celebrate it? The icing on the cake. Tomorrow I will add the final piece to my Phantom display. Says Amelia, and g'day, Ollie. And dude, take a punt, get someone something. George can be your Valentine every year, says Distracted. No. Well, to be honest, I'd have no idea who to get something for. I don't think I've got anyone lined up at the moment. And that's not even just like saying it for the sake of saying it. No one at all. Which sounds kind of sad now that I think about it, but I don't think I've talked to a woman in like 2 months that wasn't my mum. I know people get their mum's Valentine stuff sometimes and it seems sweet, but yeah, I'll leave that to my dad probably. Find someone out. I was legit a Malmo to the Phantom. Says Amelia, and David the Mole profile picture looks like Everton, the New Zealand tennis player in the 80s. And line someone up. Hard to meet someone when you're streaming 23 hours a day. True. Yeah, unless they like people who hardly leave their house and always sleeping during the day. Like my resume is not looking good in that regard. I see 2,978K have subscribed to the Kiwi Lads channel, sitting on 22K right now. Let's get more subscribers, says Dacos. Anyone who's new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. That ball stayed extremely low. Alex Scary's done well, though, to have that one lined up. And Gareth is here. Hello, Gareth. And 177. Ouch. Are we going to have a lot of pitch complaints? Or we going to have, yeah. And get down to the pub, pal. Oh, trust me, some of those ladies at the local pub you do not want to have. There's a rumor about one of them that I'm not going to say, but let's just say the rugby team have been busy. It's going to be thrown. Alex Carrier, the keeper. 18 for none at the moment. Roy Sharma, he's sitting on 18. So he's got all of them. Just ask Blues Nate, says Dacos. Oh, cheers, mates. That's Gabriela Sabatini from Argentina. And mate, beggars can't be choosers. Yeah, but beggars also don't want to get sexually transmitted diseases, do they? You know? And also, Dave, give me $20 and I'll subscribe. Says Truckin'. Oh, York there, but he's whipped it away to the leg side. That's going to race to the boundary. Oh, I wonder what one I would pick up in a Womedi pub. Yeah, not a lot other than the bad stuff. And wait, what? Says Nate. Right sport, wrong 6, says Stephen there. If you were to play rugby union, what position would you want to play? I think I want to be a halfback. To be honest, I've always considered myself as a bit of the vision kind of guy. Like, in terms of being able to spot where the gaps are. Like, even when I watch rugby, it seems to be that I'm always like, oh, gap on the left-hand side, and they just don't listen to me, unfortunately. And Hamish, every town there's one of those. The town bicycle, as they call them. Everyone gets a ride. So these are good for the character. Just wrap up and head in, says Distracted Sports. Inspirational quote. They all look the same in the dark, Hamish, says David. What if anyone here is old enough to remember MIRC? MIRC, my inland revenue cost. Probably not that, though. Solid from Ruit. It's a minor halfback. There is a problem. They need to be the fittest on the team, says Xavier. Well, to be honest, I'm not playing rugby anytime soon in terms of the position, because the best position for me currently would be water boy. Even they need to be fitter than I am. So I feel like the question can become slightly redundant. The best position for me is on the sideline watching. As my friends are YouTubers, I post your channel to our group chat, 2K subs to the Kiwi lads, says Daycost there. Have you got a different name than you used to have, Daycost? Or are you the same guy as before? And got to get back to the editing. You're featuring this vid. Am I? Again? Jeez. Been busy. I remember someone saying I'm drunk and the chat's still funny. And also, would you coach? I mean, I could coach in terms of if it was out of all the positions I could choose. But once again, I don't think I have the skill to be able to coach. Like lower leagues, maybe, like under 10s. I get them running the right way. You just tell them run it straight. And Dave, what about my $20? Says Chuckin. He's already down 31 day cost because he did transfer me 31.99 as well, I should mention. So yeah, he's down. Got to get back up. You'd be surprised how many people are drunk in the chat during rugby streams, says Gareth. I mean, a plot twist could be that you guys have never known that I've been drunk multiple times, but that wouldn't be the case. Only drunk off tiredness. I think the worst beverage I've consumed on a live stream in terms of like bad fear is probably what I drink. Powerade Zero or a Fanta or something. Yes, the Kiwi lad says day cost. I reckon you coach or you coach your children when you get them. When I get them. Sounds like I'm picking them up from somewhere, doesn't it? When they arrive in the mail. I wouldn't be, but the fact that Hamish read it out is still funny, says Amelia there. 26 for none at the moment. Fanta, yeah. And not for you, your mum's beers for the cricket. Yeah, she gets your donations, Truckin'. She gets Heinekens, they're the way to go. And if it's hot tomorrow or the next day when I play, it's the next day, isn't it? She will definitely want some beverages. I don't know whether she'll drink because it's at the high school ground. She might drink when she get home. Ooh, letting that ball go, Nathan Lyon. And I like bourbon and cola and cruises, and that's about it, says Amelia. I should also mention tomorrow in Oamaru, which is only 30 minutes away from myself, the Crusaders are playing the Highlanders. Now, I am heavily considering going to that game as it doesn't seem like it's going to be on Sky. And it's me, your clown blues, Nate. Sorry, Amish, excuse me, my siblings? Hmm? What happened? Is that because uh, Nate asked who you were? Maybe. Nothing good there. What I find weird is I'm not the most fond of alcohol. Well, some people aren't. Like the stuff when you think about it doesn't taste that good. And this Euro account day costs says Nate. And this looks like it's going to be a blowout. It does. Unless Australia can pick up some very quick wickets and vlogs, surely. Yeah, if we end up going, I will definitely be doing some sort of filming. It's tricky because at the moment, everyone that I've asked has been busy. Like George and Daniel, they're both going to be working. My dad, I believe he's going to be working. And their mum, I think, has also got something on, but she might have some free time, maybe. So we'll see. But it does seem like I'm slightly likely to go by myself if I do go, which is a bit sad. I would have liked to have some company there. It should be a good game. Pre-season, gotta love it. And 90% of my school year level has drunk alcohol. I've never tasted a drop in my life. Says Xavier there. Well, that's a good way to be in some regards because you can't get addicted to something you haven't done. You know, like, I'm not addicted to cocaine because I haven't tried it. Inspirational. But with bourbon and cola, I made it myself so that I can determine how much bourbon I put in and then it won't be as strong. Says me earlier. See, George and his name's Muzzer, but not Muzzer from the cricket, Muzzer from the pub. Because there's an Irish man called Murray, but he gets called, or his first name's actually Stephen. And Stephen loves a vodka Red Bull. He'll go to George, oh, George, get the vodka Red Bull, get the vodka Red Bull. And they had about 4 in one night. And they were just really buzzing off the walls. And George said he didn't sleep that night because his heart was going boom, 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 boom as he was sitting in bed. He thought his heart was going to go away. But yeah, Irish Murray. Get the vodka Red Bull in you, George. He just kept feeding him them. And Xavier, have you improved your push-ups as yet? I think I could do 2 push-ups if I really put my mind to it. Is that good? Probably not. But I can luckily swing my cricket bat. It's not quite too heavy. Now, Scotty Boland. And again, oh, they add a bit of in swing and maybe a little bit off the seam as well. I can't stand Canadian club. Too sweet for my liking, which is weird because considering the food, I'll eat anything. Keep pumping them weights, Xavier Brown. See the day cost there? I haven't been to the gym since the start of December, which is not ideal. Here's my gym tag. This is the one that I accidentally dropped in Lake Wanaka because I had my wallet on me while I went swimming. So I assume it still works, but I haven't tried it since that Wanaka trip, which was New Year's. So a little while. I was like, coach kids rugby a few years back. The club let me go because one of the other parents complained about me smoking a cigarette. God honest truth. Nice. Did they win some games before that though? I hope they did. I don't understand mixing energy drinks with alcohol. And they make you wide awake drunk, says Amelia. Yeah, see, George learned his lesson that night. It's Muzzer. He'll do it all the time. Vodka Red Bull, vodka Red Bull. Give me a double. He'll get doubles. He'll get 2 shots of vodka and a Red Bull. And then just sit there like this and goes, I'm having a fantastic time. But the eyes aren't. They'll get tired looking that white. Quit smoking not long ago because I got sick to death. Not eating properly when I wanted to eat, says Amelia. Heart attack in a can, says Jay. Yeah, see, that's one thing I've never tried. I've never tried a Red Bull. Ever. I don't think I would. I feel like they smell too strong. New Zealand marketing questions one manhood over which brand of beer they drink. It's childish. Childish, says Stephen there. Bowler running in now. Boland, he's only gone for the 2 runs. But this over rate's very slow from Aussie already. A little bit. You know? And like they've said, a very, very popular man, Scotty Boland. I'll drink energy drinks over hot drinks any day of the week. Just not a fan of it. says Amelia. And yes, we won 8 out of the 12 games. That's a decent record. That's 66%. Even Foster only dreams of hitting 66%. The first thing to drink was a can of green V. Yeah, see, V's popular, isn't it? Red Bull, Monster. What else is there? Live Plus. I think that's the one that George sometimes drinks. But I'm just don't really have it, you know. We soda stream random objects. I think that's on the Kiwi Lads Entertainment channel. I'm not wrong. Don't mate. Brody from Youngbloods never tried one. He finally did a few months ago. He said never again. He was pinging, says Jay. Yeah, see, I also don't drink caffeinated drinks really, so I would be screwed if I had any type of. Oh, nice in swing from Boland again. Nice block. Yeah, any type of caffeine. Even if I had like a little sip of Coke or something, I'd probably be going. Because Fanta luckily doesn't have caffeine. Because if it did, I'd be screwed. But Mountain Dew has caffeine, doesn't it? Yeah, congratulations. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a lot shorter now. A lot easier to deal with. I don't have the ponytail at the back or the man bun. Just so much easier. Don't have to cut it or not cut it. I don't have to like brush it as much. Don't have to try and untangle it. I quite like the sugar-free V citrus lemonade, but it has to be cold. There's no more. I prefer the energy drinks from Aldi, to be honest, even though they're a pain in the butt to open, says Amelia. See, I quite enjoy like that Bundaberg mango that I was talking about the other week. Like, it's good, but it's so much sugar in a small glass, like bottle. So I don't think you'd have many of them. I went to watch ZZ Top last week and Talpo rocked, says Davin the Mod. ZZ Top, geez, that's an oldie but a goodie, isn't it? And your drinks hit different if they're cold. They taste better anyways, says Amelia. Yeah, see, I find like being in the same room as someone with an energy drink, you can smell the energy drink normally. So it's like, what is in there that's like that strong, you know? Because that ain't caffeine that smells like that. That's all that like extra additives and whatnot. I sound like I'm talking a whole heap of rubbish, don't I? Like, what do I have? I had burgers yesterday. I don't even know what was in the patties, probably. Purple Rockstar goes all right. Tastes like a Starburst, says James. That's another one that I didn't mention, Rockstar. So there's Red Bull, Monster, V, Rockstar, Live Plus. There's another relatively big one, isn't there? That I can't think of. That was almost a caught and bolted attempt for Lion. Advancing. Head in the air for Rohit Sharma. Feels safe enough to go after it. Goes to Murphy down at fine leg. Rockstar is Demon. Is that the other one? Mother tastes like crap, says Jay. Out of context, that's a weird statement, isn't it? A Rockstar is good. I like the blue ones and the purple ones, says Amelia. See, I'm weird. But I don't know if it's a bad weird because I haven't had all these things. Like, I haven't drunk a tea or a coffee in my life either. And Great Northern is a great energy drink. Great Northern. I don't think I've heard of Great. It was close. Yeah, Great Northern, I don't think I've heard of. Is that a massive fire truck that they've got just off to the side of the ground? What are they going to do with that? Mother is disgusting. I can't stand it. The only flavor I like is the razzleberry flavor. Every other flavor is a can of badness. Is Great Northern an alcoholic beverage? Great. Well, not Greta. Great Northern. Yeah, Great Northern beer. There we go. Or there's Great Northern beans as well. Alcohol volume, 4.2%. That's kind of high, isn't it? And it's beer mates is trucking. See, that's how much I know about energy drinks. I don't even know the difference. Great Northern is beer, says Amelia. Is it an Aussie beer or is it just a beer that's come from somewhere else? That's another good drive. That's going to be more runs. Sharma's on a roll. And this is looking not so good. Mead indeed, says Jay. But the fact that Rohit Sharma, like, he's just not even looking like he's playing a test match. He's just having a casual net with the Aussie bowlers. Pajara, he's the one I'm curious about because he's a guy who could score 1 run off 50 balls. But it's whether or not he wants to do that or whether he goes slightly more aggressive to speed up the game. And Aussie Bear, wicket need. Geez, wicket needs a throwback. And who used to say that? Wicket need. Was that? Oh, I can see his profile picture, but I can't see his name. What's his face? Oh, it's going to annoy me now. But the guy, once you say it, I'm going to know it. Start with R. No, it didn't. Oh, it's going to annoy me. And my favorite, or my mum's a nutcase for liking the berry flavor of mother. Legit, it tastes like a flat soft drink. Roman, that's the name. It did start with an R. Good old Roman. What's he up to nowadays? Is he banned or has he just been quiet? And it did. Yeah, no, it was hitting me in the face in an aggressive way. Jeffrey Boycott. I don't think that was him. 136 Ks at the moment we are seeing from Scott Bowler. We're actually already an hour into this session, so they have to try and get through 90 overs, but really that's 88 due to the time that they did lose with the innings changeover. And like they've just said, Rohit Sharma, every 2 or 3 balls, he'll go for an aggressive shot just to try and get the bowler questioning a little bit. They popped a little bit more, but it's going to go throughout the gully region. Nathan Lyon chases, cuts it off. Oof. Just inside of the rope. Yeah, I don't know whether or not that fishing content, speaking of things that we were talking about earlier on, here's the GoPro. Got the old lens as it needs, but the GoPro fishing is on here. But I don't know whether or not that will translate into a video that you guys will want to watch, seeing as we mainly do sport. And some people would say that fishing is a hobby, not a sport, but others would say it's a sport and not a hobby. Depends on how you're doing it. Oh, slightly an inside edge, but does get it down the ground. Captain Flogged, didn't it last long? No, not very long for Cummins in this one. I'm keen to see Todd Murphy bowl, but I feel like if he's bowling to Rohit Sharma, it's not going to be much fun. In fact, if that's the first bowler or the first batsman he has to bowl to, I would almost walk away straight away if I was him. Just go, no, thank you. I'm good. A lot of people in attendance, though. That is the difference between India and Pakistan when they do play Test match cricket. People actually want to watch the Indian side play. Is India permanently stuck on 33 runs? They're currently on 35. So, no. They're doing well. Rahul, though, 4 off 24 balls. He's been a little bit slower getting going, but that happens. You know, sometimes you got your anchor and the other fella, vegan say latte shortage in India or vegan soy latte. Fishing is a recreational sport. I'm a trout and sea fisherman. David, how do I catch a trout? Because I keep catching mullets. And the only trout that we almost caught was actually on that video. And, oh, we stepped across a little bit, but it's going down leg. Unfortunately for us, like, it just pretty much got George's lure and took it underneath the box that we were standing on. Like, pretty much the wharf type thing. And it just ripped it and broke the line easy peasy. Thanks very much for coming. Yeah, that one was missing the stumps quite drastically for Scott Boland. Yeah, there's about an hour and a half's footage or something like that that I could go through and have a look. See if it's usable for anything. Even if it's just like a miniature Kiwi Lads vlog, I guess, of us. Oh, that doesn't sound good off the bat. I was watching Alicia Lehman, a recreational sport. Alicia Lehman? Who is that, Jay? I feel like I don't want to Google her. But, you know, if you don't get a sweat up, is it a sport, says Stephen? Well, that depends because some people don't really sweat too easily. Like, would you I would consider croquet a sport, but I'm not gonna end up sweaty while playing. Well, I probably would, I sweat a lot. But the average person probably wouldn't sweat during croquet. Co Cocaine you would, but croquet, no. Golf? Would you say you get a sweat up from golf if you're playing on a flat course? Probably not, but still a sport. I played on my DS for the first time in a while today. Google SSJ, Swiss footballer. Okay, am I gonna get in trouble for Googling it? I'm gonna do it. But I'm trusting you, Jay. What's her name? Al Alicia by line. Lima. She's not even one of the first, like, 50 that come up. It's safe. Alicia Lehman. She played for West Ham. No, wait, she played for Aston Villa and West Ham? Wait, she got told off, did she, for doing an inappropriate celebration? What? I won't read too far into it, but it just was like, "Hey," a guy was like, "You can't do that." I live in the Lakes District, buddy. Trout fisherman's paradise, most much fresh water around your way. A little bit. Unfortunately, though, they race like or they run the river that high that you just can't really fish that well. Like without the fish just eventually getting off because of how quick it is. Like when it's lower, it's nice. It used to be a lot better, but now it's just a bit too high for the fishies. The more beer you drink, the better you fish, or the better fish you think you caught, says Draken. Strategic. She is my spirit animal. Doubles as a twerker. Ah, I see. Hmm. Interesting. So she's a Swiss football player who's played for Man U and West Ham and Aston Villa, who also enjoys a twerk on the side. Good. Dragged down by line, a little bit league side-ish. Oh, a bit of a slip there from Roit Sharma as well, losing the balance. Got the tongue out at the moment. Make sure he doesn't jump or he'll chop it off. Line, he's been economical, only going for the 2 runs each over. I think that will annoy Sharma just a little bit because of the start that he's got off to. He's very quick at the moment with his run rate. Oh, that's come back nicely as well. Well watched, but well played. Well bowled by Nathan Lyon. End of the over. He doesn't like fake eyelashes, says Stephen. She's not bad at all, buddy. Menoculture, we meet again. Always makes me laugh. Did you even see her bum? Lol, you didn't look, says Jay. I'll be honest, I didn't deep dive in there. I just saw her with her West Ham and her Aston Villa kits. Overall, should I have been digging deeper, Joe? Is that what I'm finding out? Sounds like a relaxing place, quiet fishing. See, David, if I ever end up in Rotorua, don't be surprised if I go on your door and go, David, can we go fishing? Because I got a fishing license. I got like a proper one, which is good, but you got to catch fish too, don't you? You have to deep dive. Because that was something that you said is your sport, isn't it? Deep diving. It's a rabbit hole worthy of a look, says Jay. Oh, although this is also a good deep dive. Not really, but it's Murphy. Here he comes, Todd Murphy, the leg spinner, giving it a rip. I enjoy a bit of leg spin. That is the way that I bowl at the moment. Wait, is he? He's an off spinner. Get out of here, Todd. I thought he was leg spin. I got all excited. And my sort of recreation is Phantom of the Opera and Virgin River books. So Hamish blocking full tosses, says Connor. I assume that's referring to the one that I got out for. I actually got bowled at practice today from a big juicy full toss as well around the legs. So if I'm going to swing at a full toss, I got to bloody swing rather than just tapping it. Because that one, I actually slightly middled it, but I only did a little tiny glide, gave it straight to the guy there. So if it's going to be full, it's not going to bowl me, or if it does bowl me, who cares? Give it a decent whack. Here comes Tom Murphy, a little bit quicker the way that he bowls it. YouTube clips of her are good, says Jay. 93.8 Ks he bowled there for the youngster Todd Murphy, only 22 years of age. He's younger than me and he looks a bit like Harry Potter. That one didn't spin much and they working for a single. Kyle Rahul now moves up to 5. Oh, so will or who will still be sending Valentine's roses? This was footballer in 20 years' time, says Stephen. How well do roses travel though? I feel like by the time they get to Switzerland, it might be tricky. And did you get any of the cricket opposition having a look at your channel? I do know that it almost went on to the stumps, but they did say that they'd have a look, but only I believe I've talked to one of them, which was um it's a no ball. And they set off a siren when that happens. Yeah, the guy, I don't even know if I'll be able to describe him because I don't know whether the footage of him he did field for them, but he was one of their opening batters, but not the wicket keeper. He was one of the smaller guys in their side. But yeah, he was in a live stream chat a little while ago. But I'm sure the next time we end up playing them, which is in 2 weeks' time, they'll be asking about it. So I'll be able to tell them where to find it. I should make business cards, shouldn't I? It's little ones with the channel link on it. Todd Murphy. Is that his mum on that side? 465th player there. Todd Murphy. I'm by 139 now. Kyle Rahul. Oh, changing the angle to Rahul there. Awesome. They seem like a good bunch of blokes. Yeah, because some of them won't be there anymore due to new season or new year of school. So some of them actually may have moved up to either first 11 or they may have just left high school. So I know that the team we're playing this weekend is the Timaru Boys B side, which is the younger guys now moving up to this grade. So that sounds like they should be easier to beat, but they're actually all like pretty much rep players, all playing for South Canterbury. So they should be pretty decent. And then the week after we play this same Timaru Boys side that we already played. And then after that, we play another high school team. So anyone who thinks we just play kids at the moment is correct. But we also play adults. It's just those games haven't been filmed. We give streaming AFL a crack this year. I would like to do some AFL at some point. It just depends on schedules in terms of when those games are taking place, I guess. Because sometimes, is there an AFL game sometimes on a Wednesday? Or was that just the early stages last time? They had a Wednesday game every once in a while. I'm going to stretch. There we go. And the back's cracked, so we're good to go. 38 for none at the moment. India, they've slowed down a little bit with that run rate. They did have 15 off the first 2 overs. 38 for none. Still a very good start. Rohit Sharma, 32 off 36. There is on occasion. So, yeah, maybe we could try and do some AFL. I think for those ones, we probably have George round as well, just to add a little bit more to the streams. Me and him both not knowing what's going on. And do you think Lockie Ferguson will ever play another test? Probably not. I don't think his body likes test matches. It's just he doesn't seem to have that juice in the tank that he needs. Like even short format, sometimes his body seems like it's going to give way early on. But that is the downside of bowling so quickly. Sometimes your body don't like it. Nice fielding from Levershane. He's trying to G them up at the moment in the field, Levershane. He knows that these next few moments are very important. They need a wicket before the drinks break, which I believe is going to be happening in about 2 or 3 overs' time. Oh, in fact, no, it might actually be at the end of this over. And yeah, it's not too bad, Rotorua. Yeah, Hamish Poppin, mate. Cheers, David. So yeah, if we move up in Rotorua, I definitely have someone in mind that I have to come visit. Bit of spin on there from Murphy. I feel like the reason I pick leg spin to bowl rather than because I've always been an off spinner pretty much, but I can also bowl leg alongside it. I think the reason I went with leg spin is because on a artificial turf, you seem to get more purchase for a leg spin delivery. You get more rips on it. But a lot of test match wise, you have got normally off spinners. That is because they can also skid that back in. You're searching for that pad. It's harder to get LBW with the legs. Oh, that was close. Solid start by India, just proving pitch isn't too difficult. Says Goading and Hamish, the NRL All-Stars are playing New Zealand Māori next week in Rotorua. They are. And sadly, I believe that will be on at the same time as we're playing cricket. Unless it's changed or unless I'm wrong. What's your view on Gut too? He's all right. One of those players that can be either hit or miss. But it's nice to see him in the big bash because at least that way he gets a little bit of purchase for himself before the end of his career. It's a dot and also a maiden there. Just showing the Māori All-Stars going to be going head-to-head with the Indigenous All-Stars this weekend. And sadly, that also is a game that is happening at the same time as the cricket, even though it's on at 5:15. I think theoretically we'll be playing until about 5. No, we'll probably be playing until about 6:30. Unless we bat first, then it might be a quick day at the office. Would you see Allen opening for the Black Caps in World Cup or Guptill can come back? I think for the Black Caps now, they have to find what they want to go with and stay consistent with it. So that might be Finn Allen. It's the option, although they've still got the option of falling back on someone like a Guptill or a Munro. Could find himself up there maybe. It's just, it really depends on what they want to do on Indian pitches, which are completely different to what they play on for the BBL. It's the drinks break at the moment, I should mention. So, ladies and gentlemen, the pitch has been made more difficult for the left-handers, which make up most of the Aussies, says James. So, yeah, they didn't get that part right, I guess you could say. And g'day, says AFL Legend. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. You have been enjoying the cricket so far. Of course, they're going to need some big wickets relatively soon. Unfortunately, the Aussies aren't doing too well currently. And AFL Legend, we talked about it a little bit earlier on about me possibly doing some AFL in the future. If I was to do so, who's the side that you think would be a good one to follow? Because I've had some thoughts about it in the past. I was trying to think through sides of who I would end up actually supporting, and I had it narrowed down to about 4 that could be an option. But who are the sides? I don't necessarily want the side that's going to win, like the competition. I want someone who's got a good fan base who seem to like accept new people to it, I guess is the best way of putting it. Going by 139 at the moment. I do like a blockbuster game. So which is a blockbuster game? I wouldn't know. It's like Swans versus Magpies. Is that a big game? Seems like a big game. I'd enjoy that. I don't know if that's a big game though. My only problem. That's why I would have George. Because George's brain, while watching players play AFL, would just be going trying to work it out. Are you going to play Rugby Challenge versus subscribers? I think it was mentioned one other time ages ago, and we never ended up doing it because Wi-Fi sucked. But now I've got different Wi-Fi, but I don't even know if anyone plays Rugby Challenge anymore, do they? Like, we've got a couple of videos coming out soon of me and George playing the Six Nations earlier on the game. Anzac Day for sure, says James there. You could do the Easter Monday Clash or the Anzac Day. So, okay. Is it always a certain team on those days, or is it a different one each year? Essendon Bombers. I'm a Cats fan, hence why I said Easter Monday, says Amelia there. And I'm a Swans fan, says AFL Legend. Right, Todd Murphy went for 3 runs on his first 3 balls, but after that, 3 dots. Now bowling to Cal Rahul, who hits it to the leg side. $16 overs so far throughout this session, 41 runs on the board. Only 14 overs to go of the day, and they will continue playing till they get through those overs. Oh, that's close. That's close. Ooh. I think they're saying height's the only factor, but she looked pretty good. Some of these ones do stay low. Dude, the Cats suck. Didn't they win? Didn't they win like the whole thing and dominate the other team in the final? Is that the right team? Anzac Day is always Collingwood versus Essendon. Easter Monday is always Hawthorn versus Geelong. And yeah, Anzac Day clash, always Essendon Bombers versus Collingwood, says James. And Collingwood Magpies. I think I've been to a Magpies game. I think I watched them play the Brisbane Lions ages ago. And then the other game that I watched was Hawthorn versus Sydney Swans. About the knee roll. They've said Carl Rahul's a tall man, so more than likely going over the top, but they liked it for a bit there, the Australians. I'd like to see the ball tracker on that. But Rahul at the moment seems like the wicket that is coming. Right, here we go. Original decision not out. Spun back in, impact in line, and the ball, yeah, was going over the top by about this much. It wasn't a mile off, but it's close. AFL Anzac match. Neither team's from New Zealand, says Blues Nate. Now, that is a decent point. But we won the premiership last year, says Amelia. And the Collingwood Magpies. Rohit Sharma sitting on 32 off 42 deliveries on a bit of a roll. Whipped to the league side, well done. Looks like they will just take the single from Cal Rahul, and that will be the end of the over. 39 for one. No, sorry, 39 for none. Australia want to make it for one, and they will need to soon if they want a good chance. I'm going to have a quick Google. I own quite a bit of stuff that is like Puma stuff, and I know a few of them are actually sponsored or like they have Puma on their kits. Apparently not. Sports, here we go. Other sports, does it not fall into football? Okay, it counts as football apparently. I'm doing a quick Google. I'm very fast, very speedy. And Aussie need at least 1 or 2 wickets by stumps. Exactly right. If they don't have any wickets at all, that's going to be a real trouble for them as they head forward. Am I crazy for collecting DVDs in 2023? Depends on what the DVDs are, I guess you could say. So the Warriors kit at the moment is $180. Now, I said to Dad, even though he wasn't keen, I was like, if the Warriors win 5 games in a row this year, I will get you one of those kits. So let's hope they're on special at some stage. I was actually going to get him a polo shirt, which I don't believe they've got. Very sad. That pretty much told me nothing, by the way. I was looking to see who they had. They had Hawthorn, the Giants, and also another side as well, I think. In there. The batting average in first class cricket. Pajara is going to be a handful. Virat Kohli is going to be... Oh, well bowled by Lyon, getting it to drift across the front of Roy Sharma, who has slowed down a little bit. I got Phantom of the Opera films 1 to 4, the Geelong 2022 Premiership DVD, and Jackass Forever on DVD. I haven't actually seen Jackass Forever yet. I've seen the extras of it, but not the actual thingy. $180 for a turkey outfit. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of money. Oh! Mana's putting down the catch, but I don't think it was a chance. I should mention, a while ago, I was considering getting a Warriors kit, and at that time, they were only like $60. So I think I missed out. As I'm hoping to do quite a few of their games this year, plus a few of the other ones. I'll have to learn a lot of players, though. That's the one thing I find each year. It's even though I watched them play last year, I always forget everyone and start from a clean slate. 97 Ks for that one from Nathan Lyon. Crazy because DVDs require obsolete hardware. But if she's got the obsolete hardware, Stephen, wouldn't that be all right? Maybe she's got a portable DVD player that she sticks in her back pocket. I'm just waiting for Love Never Dies. That's gone high and long and 6. Down the ground from Roy Sharma. A sequel to Phantom and waiting for the DVD in the mail from bloody eBay. And now just a simple DVD player and I'm set. Says Amelia there. That was a nice shot. Down the ground, hurting the Australian bowlers at the moment. This test match may not go very long, ladies and gents. Which will be a shame because the best day for us to be able to cover it. What's today? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday was probably going to be our day that we could cover the majority of the day if it went there, but it doesn't seem like it's going to go there. That stage, got the TV in my room. This is Amelia. I remember when I first got a TV in my room, I thought that I was the man because I got it at a school fair and it actually used to be one of my best friend's TVs, but they donated it and then I just bought it. And then I had it in my room. It was a big box, massive box thing. And then when I upgraded to a flat screen, like it was weird because the first thing that I did on it was play GTA Vice City. And the first thing I did on that game was drive my bus down the shores like I normally would. I'd do the bus route near the beach, make sure everyone got everywhere safely. And then my cat was like, oh, TV, what's this? And then he put both paws on it, tipped it over the back, and the TV almost shattered as it fell backwards. But somehow it lasted that blow and still goes today. So maybe it helped make it stronger. Oi! Sorry, that was as if I was out on the field. That was a good ball from Todd Murphy. Got that one to move quite a bit. I had the TV in my room for nearly 3 years. And when was the last time an away team won a series in India? It takes a lot of effort, that is for sure. And I think it's been a little while. It shouldn't be Anzac neither for New Zealand or from New Zealand. Even if it was, Melbourne Footy Club is better off versus New Zealand, says Nate. Do you know Chris Wood and Winston Reid? I do indeed. Two footballing, I guess you call them legends for New Zealand to a certain extent. Right, Murphy. Can he get Karl Rahul going expansive here? Was it a bit shorter? Nicely whipped to the leg side. That'll be one again. Deep mid wicket. Only one away from the half century here for India. That's not good for Australia. How is the cat? Says David. Well, David, the cat is unfortunately dead. It passed away in November. I kept it on the down low. No one really knew until about January. And then I haven't really mentioned it too much on there. But yeah, Billy got old, unfortunately. Had to put the little fella down. I really hope Murphy gets a wicket. He's been looking decent so far throughout his first few little moments. But it's just getting that one full enough that the LBW is an option, but not so full that they get too enticed into trying to absolutely smash it. Or else they might try sweeping. 49 without loss now. Off the 15 overs. So they're going at about 3.1, 3.2, 3.2-ish. Somewhere around there. Rohit Sharma, 38 off 48. He has just continued score at a decent rate. Karl Rahul slowly building into it. He's now on 10 runs off 43, whereas he was on about 5 off 38. Somewhere around there. And Cummins looked poor. And as well says Connor, although he did have Rohit Sharma really going for him, which might be slightly some of the problem. He just wasn't quite getting the line right. And no matter the bowler, if you're bowling badly to Rohit Sharma, he's going to put you to the boundary. And Billy rested in heaven, all his homies, and taken over Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion. Yes. Although there's actually, it's weird, because there's this little other ginger cat that keeps on hanging around now. And we almost call it Billy 2.0. Like, we don't know where it's come from, but it's just a small ginger cat that just comes round, not into the house, but just hangs around it. And then we'll just leave randomly. Manus throwing it to the keeper. And poor old Billy, that's so sad. He was a Kiwi lad's icon. He was. He had, did he have a, he might have had an emoji before we did. Maybe. Someone might be able to correct me on that. But did Billy have his face emoji before we had the George and Hamish emojis? Might have. The little star he was. He's been on a few live streams. He's been on more live streams than Daniel has by quite a margin as well. It's going to be another run there for India. So they sit on 50 runs as the partnership of 94 deliveries. Yeah, he was about 16 and a half. So he's lived or 17 or so. He was right up there in terms of like cat years type thing. How do I add an emoji? Add the reaction. Yeah, the Billy emoji, I believe, came in before the Hamish and George emoji. And George emojis actually came in before the Hamish emojis. No, that might not be correct. That might be on alphabetical or some sort of weird order. I know that Kieran was definitely the first emoji that we had, though. He was a bit of a trendsetter, old Kieran. Ooh. By line again. Hamish the man. Kia ora Blues, welcome in, mate. Billy Jr. says Nate there. Yeah. I don't know if it's over the back fence or Billy the Cat and Kieran the blow up all black. To anyone who doesn't know the start of the channel, that probably sounds very weird, doesn't it? But yeah. Ooh. See, I think Super Rugby wise was probably when you guys saw Billy the most, and probably actually when you saw Kieran the most. That was before we had a green screen. So some would say the green screen's better. Some would say it's slightly worse because we don't have that room behind us. One day I want to have like a cool setup that looks like a green screen, but it's actually just my background. But we're not quite at that stage yet. Into the over 54 for none. India making it tough for Australia. In fact, we're 16 overs in. Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, which over are we going to see the wicket? Now, for the over that you're considering, be sure to put it and then any ball. So if you said, for instance, 17, you're over for 17 just to make it easier, 17, 17.1, 17.2, etc. And then if you said 18, then 18, 18.1, and that kind of carry on. So I will say the first wicket is going to fall in the 23rd over. Still a wee way away. They haven't been playing badly at the moment, India. In fact, they've been playing very nicely. Ticking it over well. Yeah, we'll go with that. Final answer. Murphy. Oh, no, sorry. It was close. Nice work there from the fielder, but that one almost kind of bloomed up a little bit. We saw almost Kyle Rahul's dismissal. Yeah, Murphy, he's getting some turn, which is good to see. Started with the bat well, India. Looking to continue it. Rahul does well. He doesn't like Murphy's bowling, though. You can tell already that it's just that awkward angle to make him slightly hesitant to play the big shots. They can go for another 57th minute if they need to. And I like the haircut. Goodbye to the long hair, eh? It's just, yeah, the long hair is annoying. Even this part here annoys me because, like, I let the barber decide how long they wanted to have it. Just because I was like, don't know. I don't know whether I want it long or short or whatnot, but I did know that I wanted it cut. So, yeah. But not having the back is so much better in terms of, like, not for cushioning my head. Like, now I've just got, like, the hard part there, but, like, it is a lot better, I think. Although she did say that my hair would go all right long. It's just that it's so, like, it gets tangled so easily. And Kia ora Kaz, says Nuzzy Williams. And also 24th overs, third ball gets the wicket. And 24.4 is what David went with. Could have had a mean mullet like half the blokes at Super Rugby. That is true. That could have been an option. And it would have been pretty, pretty impressive because it was long at the back. But it would have been slightly tangled, so it wouldn't have looked as... Oh, that's kind of a bit of character to a mullet, though, isn't it? And Little Ginger will make you his slave soon, says Hillary there. and couldn't have a. Oh, sorry, I read that one about the Super Rugby, and this cat sounds like the plot to Pet Cemetery. It does a bit, doesn't it? We saw a hedgehog was just sleeping on our driveway the other day. That was weird. Like, we just looked at it, and it was chilling. Like, we hadn't run it over or anything like that. It was just sleeping. It must have decided that the concrete was slightly cooler than just being in the sun. And then the next time we looked out, it was gone. Weird stuff happens around here. I'm going to play that throwback clip that some of you will know, but you see some weird stuff around these parts. A lovely day out here. Who are you? Chicken. That'd be good at the moment. Eggs are in a little bit of a problem, aren't they? The amount of eggs around. And Hamish do a go, bro. One step ahead. I've already got it all set up, ready to go for the cricket. It's just the fact that all of our games have been called off since Christmas. Sadly, we've been waiting eagerly. This weekend, the rain shouldn't be around, hopefully. And hopefully we do get a game. They seem like they're going after Captain Cummins. Don't get a mullet, Hamish. I remember those days. Let's not go back, says David the Mod. Yeah, see, I feel like mullets are almost getting slightly out of fashion as well now, aren't they? They went through a big phase about 2 or 3 years ago, and now they're slowly starting to go away. There are some who are trying to keep them around for as long as they can, but I think a lot of people are moving on to different stuff now, aren't they? Right. Carl Rahul on strike to Cummins. Outside of off stump again, steps across, cuts it down, and he's damaged to 30,000. He deserves it, says Nazi Williams. 30,000 is a lot of people. Like, I remember when we were talking about our town having like 5,000, and the fact that we had the same amount of subscribers as that was insane. But yeah, to now be sitting where we are is even crazier. Like 22,000. And yes, not everyone's going to stick around for every live stream and everything along those lines, but that's 22,000 people who have at least like used up a tiny bit of energy to hit a red button. That was a beautiful shot from Carl Rahul. Cummins just bowling it on that half volley length. Ends up getting driven out through cover. 4 runs. Thanks very much for coming. Yeah, Rahul, he likes them there. That's a great cover drive. Just saying he's bowled a buffet of boundaries. Pat Cummins. Been too full, they've said. It's as if he's decided that because of the pitch and the bounce of the pitch, maybe he needs to be full. But I feel like he should still try a couple of those slightly further back one. Nazi will go there, make me laugh. This guy, Amish, good bloke, says Nazi Williams. Well, we've got plenty more content coming up that you will hopefully laugh at, Nazi. That's one of the main goals, to be honest, of the channel. Like, everyone, I guess, always asks, why do we stay up all hours of the night and do random live streams at random time, even when there's less people watching? And it's just because not only do we love doing it, but I feel like it's also just an awesome group environment type thing. Like, it's just the setup of a few people, a few mates, or just having a catch up talking about sport while either watching it or hearing me slightly talk about it. Which some of the live streams, I'll admit, I do only slightly talk about the games, but it's just fun. I feel like on a live stream a while ago, I said about it, how throughout the lockdowns and everything like that, like, most people didn't have many people to actually talk to, and like randomly most days would just be live, so they had someone who they could actually, tell about their day or say what was happening soon. And it's just, I feel like it's a good way to have it as a Kiwi Lads part-time for you. So I always say, and you guys will be sick of hearing me say this, anyone who's been around for a while, because I use the same sentence every time. It's a full-time job with a part-time income, in terms of I put in hours and hours and hours, like probably around, I'd say 10 to 16 hours a day doing some sort of like YouTube stuff, and then also I work a building job alongside that so that I can fund the channel and keep it running. Just because the channel by itself, it can slightly pay for editing software and live streaming software, Sky subscriptions, and all the other sports ones, and then little repairs that I've got going. But I still work another job alongside that so that I can, I guess, survive. Best way of putting it. Yeah, it is quite busy. Even on days when you don't see us uploading, it's not that we're not doing something, it's just we're doing something behind the scenes, whether that's scheduling, working out what we're doing each day, doing research of players and everything like that, editing, the list goes on. Even when I'm like almost going to sleep, my slight problem is I'll go to bed, but I don't go to sleep. I do another 2 hours of work when I'm in bed, and then I go to sleep, which is a bad habit to have because I always end up going to sleep at about 5 a.m. But I get a little bit of extra stuff done, so that's good. That's helpful. Overs left today is actually only 5.5. That's not much. These overs have been flying by. And now I'm slightly sad that I know that we only got 5 more overs. Because that also means that we won't get to see your 24 and some for the wicket. And yeah, Kazi Nazi, my bro, reckon he post up in their group. Needs 5,000 subscribers to the Kiwi Lads channel. Please, kia ora whānau, says Nate. And I learned the other day, well, I learned that we had done a lot of videos, but I think how many videos are we on now on the channel? Public and private. Well, we'll count public. Can you still find out how many videos the channel has? I don't know if they've still got that section that says videos. I know we've got 6th of July as our joining date, but it doesn't have our video count. Is it on a phone that you can see it? I don't have my phone, do I? Yes, I do. Oh, good Yorker from Murphy. Actually Yorked himself with that one. And it's 50k or 30k or 50k. Italy to beat England. I think they'll be close. Like, Italy are no longer, for me anyway, the easy beat of the Six Nations. They seem to be getting better and better, which is great news for them. Hopefully that does continue. Right, I might be able to find it. So videos, we have uploaded 1.9k videos. We've almost uploaded 2,000 live streams / videos on the channel. It's a pretty big amount, to be honest. But it's good. Been busy. That's only like over less than 3 years as well. Into the over 60 for none. I'll be honest, this game at the moment, it just seems to be the case of how many runs do India want. If Australia aren't quite able to get themselves their wickets. But the thing with bowling so many spin bowlers is you're going to get through overs very quickly. Which seems to be the case this one, but currently 5 overs left. I believe I said 23 or 22. I might have said the 22nd over. In fact, it might have actually been the 23rd. I can't actually remember my prediction. But either way, they need a wicket. Just one today would give them some sort of confidence heading into day 2, or else then they'll be sitting there going, what went wrong? They're only trailing by 117 runs. And we still have a lot of work to do before we bat again. I'll play it again. Behind the Arish Sharma. He's 7 away from his half century, so I believe he should be able to get there. And they're just saying there hasn't really been any edges. They've had that one LBW shout, but it was a little bit too high. And also Italy forwards looking solid. The halves combo, Varney and Allen. Centres combos, Marisi and Brex. Plus Capuzio, says Nate. Yeah, they seem to now have a lot more players that people recognise by name, which is something that a few years ago Italy didn't really have. Like, people struggled to know players, and that's not even with that was close to a wicket. That's why I changed my tone. But yeah, that's without Monty Ioane being considered or any of those guys. Who else have they got? Padovani. He's not really in the starting lineup anymore. Manuzia? Nuzio, is that a name that I'm thinking of? 3 dot balls in a row for Nathan Lyon. Oh, arm ball, ugly. That's got to be a wide, doesn't it? Although Australia think it's a wicket, but no, it's actually a dot. See, that was a rank ball, but it didn't lead to any runs, so that's a bonus. And did it slip or no? He just ripped it, Nathan Lyon, and just ended up going very wonky. I'm just talking about Pat Cummins bowling. He has not been getting it anywhere near where he normally would, which is really strange. Cummins today, like they've said, they've never seen him overpitch so many deliveries. Which is not what you want. That went straight through the batsman. And that will be the end of the over. 60 without loss after 20. 3 and over currently for the Indians. Good rip on that ball from Lyon. Getting it to talk, and it actually ended up coming back the other way. I think that was off the seam. Trying to listen to Marnus. Marnus is near the stump mic at the moment. The fist bump. 4 overs remaining today. I think they're actually going to be almost finished ahead of schedule, which is quite impressive because that's something we don't normally see. But also, we don't normally see so many spin overs in other test matches, other than if you're playing, for instance, in Pakistan or if you're playing in Sri Lanka or Bangladesh. I'll play it again. Rahul and Sharma will just know, get through this session, get into day 2, be all excited, get ready to smack that ball around. Currently trailing by only 117 runs. It was nowhere near the target that the Aussies would have been after. Crowd, I'm surprised that there's empty seats. To be honest, I thought it would be a lot more full for the first day of this test match. Definitely for the final session of the day. Now Murphy. Almost a half volley. It's hit down the ground. I'll take another single. Okay, Matthew Hayden at the moment on the commentary. He is saying 1 wicket here. New batsman to the crease. Put that pressure on and perhaps you pick up a second before the end. And then you're not sitting too badly in terms of those wickets to runs ratio. But you need some runs. And it seemed to be for the Australians. They lost 2 wickets when they were on 2 runs. They lost 2 when they were on 84 runs. They lost 4 within 5 runs at the end of the innings. So the wickets were falling in partnerships, which is exactly what Matthew Hayden was saying. Get 1, maybe you get another. Murphy. Hit back down the ground at him. Fielded well. India should get to 70, I think. Looking at the amount of runs that they've got now, 9 more needed. That will get them within the 110. Oh, uppish, but it does work away nicely. Deep to the leg side where Nathan Lyon is waiting. Just keeps it away. Average term. We've actually seen more term from the Australian side than the Indian spinners, which is interesting. Murphy again. Bowled again. Straight down the middle. Blocked out. Into the over. 62 for none. Apparently India cheating wants to go there. What, in this match? Or in another match, Xavier? Do you know how they're cheating? It's an interesting one. There's always going to be, depending on how well a side goes and how badly another side goes, there's always going to be the rumors going around of certain sides are doing this, certain sides doing that. But like the only thing that you could say is maybe the pitch, but we've seen that India can clearly bat on the surface and Australia struggled. In this match, something with the pitch, says Xavier. I mean, yes, the pitch looks like a day 5 pitch, but they're 62 without loss at the moment. So they could make the argument that the pitch is fine. Australia just didn't know how to bat on it rather than, something more cynical. And of course, the pitch is going to be in the Indians' favor in terms of the way that they prepare it. They're going to make sure that it is more of a pitch that their side would like than the other side. But it's all allowed, I guess you could say. Right, Nathan Lyon again. Labuschagne and Smith. Will we see either of them pick up the ball for today? I hope they do. At least give them one, I guess. Or Driven. Nathan Lyon out through the covers. That looks like it could be another 4. Or will Cummins catch it? He does. In the end, just manages to clean it up. Throws it back in for the 2 runs. Oh, in fact, they managed to get back for 3. Good running between the wickets from India there. And they now move up to 65. So far, we've seen 1-6. We've seen 8 4s in this first session. That is a lot to have. And we've seen 99 dots. So they're 1 away from the century of dot balls, but they have not seen 1 wicket yet. And geez, still no bloody wicket, says AFL legend. Getting hard for them. They need one soon. Work to the leg side. Scoring at 3 and over at the moment here for the Australians. Oh, sorry, for the Indians, I should say. But that wicket's needed. If they can get one before the end of today, it would be handy and give Marnus a bowl at this point. I want to see him or Steve Smith have a crack. Bit of leg spin, something that India, I don't believe, really had in their spinning arsenal. They still had Jadeja and also Ashwin. I'd like to see if someone can get the ball to turn the other way. Yes, it might leak you a few runs, but then could also possibly get you a wicket if you're lucky, which is pretty much what they need right now because they ain't got one yet. And Dan Vittoria, of course, he would have been working with the spinners for a long time. Marnus or Steve Smith? Oh, that was off the bottom of the bat. One of those two need to bowl an over today. Like I've said, Nathan Lyon normally bowls outside of off stump a little bit more. Has to bowl on the stumps for this pitch. Right, a little bit of a change in the field as well here. I just looked at Nathan Lyon's lineup or run up. It's actually quite long. Like it's a good few steps. Oh, ramp shot, classy from Roy Sharma. Races to the boundary, half century there for the opener. And he has scored it off 66 balls. The crowd are very happy with that one. And Lyon should bowl leggies, says AFL. And the thing is, I actually thought Todd Murphy was a leg spinner. I don't know why I thought that. I think I got him mixed up with someone else. But I feel like leg spin, to be honest, not a bad option. Bowl it round or over the wicket. Pitch it on leg. Get it to go across. See how much it's going to turn. I feel like well, of course, I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, but I find it confusing that neither side have tried that. I can understand it for India. They were getting wickets either way, but Australia, give it a go. Did you know South Africa hold 3 world records in cricket? Do they? It's impressive. Now, Nathan Lyon. 1 ball left. Oh, he cracks it out through cover. Beautiful shot, and that will be another boundary. Well, at least the Aussies are getting challenged. Like since last series versus India 2021, we haven't really had a challenge in Test, says AFL legend. Yeah, it's always the case of you want to see the best versus the best, and at the moment that seems to be what this is. And Australia will try and learn from what is happening here. And then you try and improve by the World Test Championship final. And also, Aussie spinners not getting same bite from the pitch or batters play well, says Coding. Well, it's actually interesting because the Australian spinners have had more degree of spin than India did by about 0.5 degrees. But the thing is, they're not using that spin effectively because you can get this, get all the spin in the world, but if you're not putting it where you need to, you're just wasting it. So it looks like they are going to go with Tom Murphy again. That doesn't take away from India's batting. They have played very well. KL Rahul, a slow build-up, 18 off 66. One more ball faced by Rohit Sharma. Difference, though, he's got 55 runs on the board. Right, Murphy. Facing off with KL Rahul, second last. The first one is AB de Villiers getting the fastest 100. And ODI history by only 31 balls. Once again, goes away to the leg side. They'll get 2 more runs. And Rahul moves up to 20. Yeah, Murphy just giving him a little bit too full from Nathan Lyon for that last delivery of his over. But now I'd like to think that it's Murphy from this end, someone else from the other end. Even if it's Scott Boland, as much as I wouldn't like to see it finish with a pace bowler, I think that if they're going to do anyone other than Lyon, Boland or Smith, because Smith should be still relatively fresh as he didn't really put much of a foot with the bat. 1.3 overs remain in the day, and they're going to be pretty much finished at the right time. Why Ashton Agar and Adam Zampa experienced spinners not playing, says Coding. I guess Australia, it would have been a big risk putting Todd Murphy in, so I guess it's more of an experimental side. As if not to say this is the exact reason, but it seems like the throwaway side to a certain extent, just to see what their squad can do. The players who missed out on that South African tour, it seems like they are now getting the chance. Second one is David Miller getting the fastest 100 in T20 history with only 34 balls. Here's Jan Rynel. Pitched up. He's got him. Caught him bowled. And KL Rahul picked up by Murphy at the end of the day. Massive. And that's only 1.2 overs remaining now. In fact, that'll be 1.1. And that means now we get to see either a night watchman go in for 1.1 overs, or they may consider sending Pujara out. Great work from Todd Murphy. Harry Potter's look-alike. He's missing the scar, but he's got Murphy's law in his favour. After that one, KL Rahul played very slowly. Says Coding. Although, to be fair, when you've got Rohit Sharma at the other end sitting on 55 of 67, you don't need to play fast. It's like when you're at the crease with Travis Head, you just got to rotate the strike and give it to him. Finally, a wicket finally, says AFL legend and Amelia, Matthew Wade, playing in South Africa at the South African T20 and the Joburg Super Kings playing later today. Harry Potter gets his wicket, says Amelia. KL Rahul dismissed 20 off 71 deliveries. Caught him bowled. He'll be disappointed with that. But now, is that Pujara? That doesn't look like Pujara. That looks more like Ashwin. He'll be making his way to the middle. Ravi Night Watchman. So, yeah, if they can pick up either Ashwin here or maybe even bigger, get Rohit Sharma in the last over of the day. Now I think they will bowl Nathan Lyon for that final one. If they hadn't got the wicket, I think they definitely would have decided to go with maybe someone other than Lyon. And Murphy is like Satner for Australia, says Coding. Is that because he's got glasses and bowls off spin? The Night Watchman, and when I had a scoreboard up on StreamYard and a massive black background, do I need the pro version to remove it? So if you're talking about this part here, where my hand's gone, was it black? Because if so, you do need to add a background, but to do that, I believe you need a pro version. Are you going to do the South Africa final on Saturday? Probably not, just because I haven't done the rest of the competition, so it would seem a bit weird to just jump in for that final when I haven't covered the rest, and also will be at the middle of the night time which will also be around the same time as the Six Nations. So we have something today, Murphy deserved that, says AFL legend. He has bowled well, Todd Murphy. Now Ashwin at the crease. The other one left says Xavier. Yeah, so that will be the background that you can change in the background section. But if you aren't a StreamYard full member, I don't think it will let you. It's like I can put these different ones there, even though I didn't just update, even though I just clicked it. Yeah, there we go. I'll go back to that one though. But yeah, you've got different options that you can have. Oi, well bowled and well dove in there by Labuschagne. Australia feels something here for the final one. Going to start streaming when the Super Rugby starts. Just the Rebels away days. Going to find the funny moments to tune them or to turn them into compilations to use for videos, says Amelia. That is smart. That is something that I've probably very underdone on my channel. Has never had any like clips or anything from live streams really. No matter what happens in them, I always just end up just leaving them pretty much. Although we had a few that like Sebastian's recorded in the past. Just little clips of either us doing random stuff or yeah, some random things. I want to list a couple, but then it sounds weird out of experience. Turkey experience massive earthquake on 9.6. Geez, that's huge. When did that happen, Coding? And because I know I'm going to rage or do something stupid or funny, and I am just join commentary into school day, beginning of the weekend looks like an uphill battle for Australia. Certainly is. And you've joined just in time, Joss, because we have got 6 balls remaining in the day now. Nathan Lyon bowls it. That's at the pad first, is it? There's a shout. It's outside of off stump. The umpires actually just said it was outside of off stump, but Australia, are they going up for it? I think it was outside of the line. I don't think that's going to be out. I was disappointed with that one. Are you going to do the South Africa tour to the West Indies on the 28th of February? If it's shown here in New Zealand, I would like to. But yeah, it just depends on what's shown here type thing. But theoretically, I would need someone in that stream to be able to clip it for me because I already know I'm going to get frustrated with finding the funny stuff, says Amelia. And that is one of the tricky parts. What you can actually do, I believe YouTube have an option. It's a nice shot. Worked away for a single, and now Ashwin will have 4 balls remaining. But I believe there's actually an option in the YouTube studio while you're in the stream that says you can set a little dash or something like that, that then in the live stream after you can see where you marked it, as if it's like a little note, if that makes sense. I think they've got that as an option. How if something funny happens or you have something that you want in there, you just click that button. And then when you finish the live stream, it will be like, this is a moment you mark this one, this one, this one. Right, 4 balls remain. Nathan Lyon needs another one. Oh, hit it straight into the fielder. Oh, so wicket at 22nd or 23rd overs. There's Blues there. Oh, now the question is, I said either 22nd or 23rd. I cannot remember, but it was one of them. So we were quite close in that department. I'll check it out. Thanks. Yo, 10K people plus the earthquake. Was it just then or has it been around for a little while? Like, when did it take place in terms of days? See, that's the thing. With me sleeping during the day and doing editing during the night, like I don't use the internet really, other than if I'm like doing any sports research. So I didn't even know it had happened. Right, 2 balls left. Ashwin, I had 24th over. Yeah, you said 23rd over. Oh, so I wasn't too far off. Rohit Sharma just sitting there. Well played by Ashwin. 1 ball remains. The crowd applaud. They know that this is important, that he stays out there this last little bit. Not too sure how much of this we're covering tomorrow. We might get one session in at some stage, perhaps. Just with, last ball of the day. Well played by Ashwin, and that will be the end of the first day of this test match. 177 for the Aussies, 77 for 1 for the Indians after the first session started this week, I think, says Yanri now. But very well bowled by Roy Sharma. 56 runs for himself, which is actually the highest score we've seen in this test match. But yeah, I hope that we can do some of this test tomorrow. I'm not too sure what time that will be, but if we do end up doing it, I will be sure to let you guys know. We've also got a chance that we might be going to the Crusaders Highlanders game tomorrow. I haven't quite confirmed that yet, but if we do, we'll certainly have to get some content while we are there as well. But thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be back with plenty more action this weekend. The Six Nations also got some of the NRL. Great call, Hamish. Says David the Mole. Appreciate you being here, mate. And yeah, have to go up to Rotorua at some stage, go fishing. That's the goal. At some point, this could be in like 3 or 4 years' time. Hopefully, we catch something. Yeah, thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.